Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2.
Say it, I dare you.
Happy Friday Eve, everybody!
Good morning.
Keep
Good morning.
educating Adam.
I'm learning day by day. How are you guys doing this morning?
I'm doing
better than you.
Yeah.
I'm sure you all are.
My eyes are open. I don't
good.
look like I got into a fight last night.
Oh, yeah.
I got my ass kicked.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I definitely got my ass kicked last night. You know who else got their ass kicked last night?
The Detroit Tigers.
Detroit Tigers.
Because
Yeah.
they suck.
Terry?
know who's a sick guy?
Me.
No, I'm sicker than you. Know why? I watched the Tigers game last night. I don't know why. They were just getting mollywopped.
You know
And
what?
I'm still watching them.
Spencer Torkelson. 0 for 3 again. It's getting bad.
Now, here's the key. Now, the Tigers sent Akil Baddoo to Toledo to get himself fixed. And this happened before Max Scherzer. There's another Tiger player that should probably go down.
Okay. I'm listening.
Spencer Torkelson. Because
How long?
he's 2-3 weeks.
So for
Or
the
until they,
upcoming road trip?
until they get things fixed. Max Scherzer, I don't think he was down for 2 weeks. He was down for a week. However long it takes to fix things.
Get him some confidence back.
Right. And
Let
plus
him
he's
see-
a rookie. And I don't know if I want a rookie around a bunch of losers.
Oh, I feel you on that.
Because then it's going to rub off on him. And then he'll be going around looking like you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's...
But I'm going to
God
give you the
damn.
option. Young man, you can send any... only can be one. You can send any Tiger down to Toledo to get fixed. Who would you send?
And meaning getting fixed, meaning he comes back and actually does well?
Yeah, he bats over 200.
100% Torkelson. 100% Torkelson, yeah. Like Miggy had 3 hits last night. Why? Why did he account for 3 of the 7 hits? Why did you get shut out again?
No,
Why?
you got
Why?
killed. You got killed last night, 9-0.
Yeah.
And, it was a rookie pitcher, and he should be forgiven
I don't
because
care
he's
if-
trying to learn.
I don't care. Why are the Oakland A's scoring 9 runs and the Detroit Tigers are scoring 0? Score 4, 5 would be nice. You're averaging less than 2.5 runs a game right now, Detroit. Your team is embarrassing. They don't know how to hit. And you know what? With Torkelson, it's in front of me. Play discipline, pretty solid. Just can't make contact at all.
No, they're just blowing it by
0.
him. But I tell you, it's really frustrating. And, once again, I know people don't like this, but I think somebody needs to tear up that locker room. Somebody needs to say, look, what in the hell is going on here? Because the public is doing it. You're doing it. Fans are doing it. And A.J. Hinch, a guy we can't touch now because he did a wonderful job last year and he's got street cred in Major League Baseball. But Jim Leland did it. He went off on these guys before a road trip to
He
Oakland.
needs to take a baseball bat and hit every single one of them so they understand, oh, this is how I make contact with an object. They can't hit the ball, Terry. Oh, my God. Let's move on to somewhat brighter things. NFL projections come out. Not the over-under win totals.
Oh, my God. You're saying the Detroit Lions are brighter?
Oh, much
News?
I
Oh,
would
man,
say
this
it's
is
bright
rare.
news. You ready for this?
Ready.
NFL.com projections have the Lions winning 7.4 games.
Which is impossible, but...
Over-under on the concept that they actually win more than 7.5 games. Or are you taking the under?
I'm going to take the
And
under.
what does that tell you about national perspective, what they believe the Detroit Lions can be this year.
Well, there's two perspectives. There's national perspective, there's NHL, and then there's Las Vegas. Las Vegas over-under is 6.5, which means if that stands up from their projections, the Lions will have the number 4 pick in the draft because that's the 4th worst projection. So there is a disconnect between the way Detroit is feeling about the Detroit Lions and the way Vegas is. So we got 3 different entities. We got Vegas, we got NFL.com, and we got the fans here who were saying, hey, they're going to win 8 or 9 games. But Vegas is saying, nah, guys, slow down. It's not going to be that good. You're going to have the number 4 pick in the draft.
Yeah, the average simulator that ran had them at 7.4 wins on average per season. So let's just let's round down. That's a 7-10 record. I don't think Detroit would be up in arms over a 7-10 season unless
they'd be thrilled.
Unless you lose games in certain ways with coaching mistakes, fundamental mistakes, going for it on 4th and 2 in the first quarter when you're up 3-0 on your own 15-yard line. I don't know. I've seen some things.
I think in this normally you'd be right, but in this town, under these circumstances, and after a 3-13-1 season, even if Dan Campbell makes huge mistakes but gets 7 wins out of this team this year, he's going to be celebrated, no matter how goofy he may look at times.
I definitely believe that to be the case. We'll get to Dan Campbell around 8:15. Bettors are loving him for Coach of the Year, but we'll get to that next. But back on the Lions win total. I've been telling you 6 to 8 wins for
right. It's going to be right around there. So we got to figure out.
And I think it's that. I really do. And the only way, Terry, they win more than 8 is if Dan Campbell is a goddamn good coach. Because coaching matters in the NFL.
Yeah,
you have a good
we're not willing to put that on him yet.
It's not fair to. What do we have? A 17-game sample size, half of which was coordinated by Anthony Lynn.
Right.
I'm Mr. Unfair, apparently. And that doesn't seem fair to me at all.
And obviously, Anthony Lynn and Dan Campbell were at odds, although they will never admit that.
Yes. And they were clearly at odds because, you know what? The way they went about it, very professional, nice, whatever. But when Dan Campbell comes out and says, yeah, I'm not liking how things are being called right now, he doesn't understand what I want to see from my football team. That's a big problem.
That is.
That's a huge problem. The OC, the DC, and the head coach have to be so locked in sync. When
he says something like that, the problem is worse behind the scenes than what we're getting. We always get the milquetoast. Like, he's doing an okay job, which means he's awful. That I expect more. Because a coach will call out a coaching staff, but a coach will not call out a coach. It won't be specific. They'll say, well, we're not doing a good job, but they won't say, he won't say Anthony Lynn needs to go, although it was obviously he needed to go.
The way they went about it, again, I thought was very professional. But yeah, this was a decision that, again, I think leadership quality, you make a decision, you hire somebody, and Terry, they don't work out. And you see it right away, too. Like, all through camp, preseason, whatever, like, yeah, all right, it doesn't matter. Week 1, you saw it. 2, 3, 4, and 5, you damn sure saw it. Like, it was definitely a roller coaster with Anthony Lynn. Again, one of my biggest praises I'll ever give Dan Campbell is the decision to get rid of Anthony Lynn. That's how it's done. That's a leadership move. That's a leadership... that's the quality of a leader. That's one of many qualities.
Well, he had to if...
I don't believe so. I've seen...
There's a lot of coaches that don't do it.
That's
You're
the
right
thing
about that. But I think the friction was so deep And the philosophy differences were so deep that he had no choice. Now, to your point, coaches, Mark D'Antonio at Michigan State, other guys have had
Rod
the same
Marinelli?
have had the same problem.
Even Jim Caldwell.
They don't want to get rid of their boys. Coaches would die at the vine rather than fire one of their coordinators. If I lose my job, okay, fine. But I'm not
Imagine
getting
being
rid
a
of this
rookie
guy.
head coach, bringing in a seasoned offensive coordinator, right? A seasoned coach in the league to be your offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. Anthony Lynn, I would say, is well respected around the league.
He is, and he may get a head coaching job.
And what happens is you hire him as your OC, and 8-9 weeks in, as a rookie head coach, you have to make a decision. If I relieve this guy of his duties, he may not get another job. But if I keep him in the job, I might lose mine.
Well, it shows that that the cohesion that they talk about between coaches and front office is not PR. It's not BS. He had to have the backing of everybody for him to do that as a rookie head coach. Because if Chris Spielman or Brad Holmes are like, hey, dude, what are you doing? Then Anthony Lynn is back as offensive coordinator, and then Dan Campbell looks like the fool. But he had their backing.
As he should have, by the way.
But
And
it
I think
doesn't
he would
always
have.
happen.
I think that wouldn't have happened 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. So I think there's a lot of things that are different. Different is good. Does different result in a 10-win season in his second year? Maybe not. The roster is young. It's talented, but it's very young and raw and unproven, especially on the defensive side of the ball. On the offense, I know exactly what I'm getting. A very consistent and very talented offensive line. A backfield where if I put in Jabba the Hutt, he'll probably run for 1,000 yards behind that offensive line. I've got a rookie dynamic wide receiver who's coming off an injury, so I have to wait and see. Chark coming off a broken ankle, wait and see. St. Brown, I know what he is. A very nice player. Hawkinson, will you be healthy? I have a lot of questions. And I think that's why Vegas was so conservative, by the way, on the 6.5. I'm surprised they didn't go for a push number at 7. But we don't need to get into the betting side of it. The point is, a lot of the Lions season, and you could say this about any NFL team, but specifically the Lions, revolves around a lot of question marks. I don't question if Josh Allen's going to be healthy this year for the Bills. That's a given, right?
Yeah,
I don't question Travis Kelce for the Chiefs. I'm questioning T.J. Hawkinson's health for this year. Questioning DeAndre Swift's.
What about your boy? Yeah, I was going to say, what about your boy Swift?
And then I have to look at that and say, that will impact this team's win-loss record massively. Massively. And I'm comfortable saying 7.4 seems about right, between 6 and 8. You do 10,000 projections, somewhere in the middle, it's about 7.4. Yeah, I'm okay with that. The number makes sense to me, Terry. Over 7.4 wins, I told you yesterday, if they won 9 games, it wouldn't surprise me. Not one bit. Because then everything I believed to be true would unfold that way.
No, that is possible. But if I have to put my money on it,
you're probably not taking that bet.
I'm not taking the 9. I'm going under 7.4 or 7.5, which it should be. But the Vegas number is very interesting too. 6.5.
Yep, 6.5.
So I may take the over on that one because I think it's going to be 7.
All right. Well, we'll take a quick pause when we get back. Dan Campbell getting a lot of love from odds makers and bettors for head coach of the year. We'll get to that next. But before we do, I got to tell you about Gypsy Vodka, the smoothest tasting vodka on the market. It's Michigan's vodka. It's gluten-free, locally owned and operated up in Petoskey, Michigan. Check them out at gypsyvodka.com. Check them out on social media. Let them know Woodward Sports sent you. And as always, drink responsibly.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, Make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. We brought back some of the classic breakfast items like the strawberry French toast, hot cakes, and waffle. If you're not feeling breakfast, try our new strawberry bacon chicken wrap, crispy chicken wrap, nacho wrap, or strawberry salad. The perfect recipe for springtime. And don't forget to grab dessert, including our berry delicious strawberry pie for only $1.99 with the purchase of $7.99 or more at participating Big Boy locations.
Winning is a habit. So is listening daily to Woodward Sports. We're glad you're a winner, and thanks for listening.
Well, it may be 83 degrees here today, but you can still go get your tan on at Chili Peppers Tanning. That's where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless sanitized rooms and trained certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals on unlimited tanning. They'll even beat your competitors by $5. Chili Peppers, they've got the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans.
Chili Peppers Tan!
Fish, I know you love that. That
It's his
jingle.
favorite part.
I love it, buddy.
It's a good, what do you call it, jingle?
Yeah, jingle. It's very catchy.
It is. It got you for that hook.
All right, Terry, Dan Campbell catching a lot of traction for Head Coach of the Year. He's becoming Bettor's favorite to win Head Coach of the Year. What that tells me is one of two things. People need to understand Head Coach of the Year is not who has the best record in the NFL, right?
It's the team that makes the most improvement.
Typically. Mm-hmm. And when you are a 13-1 football team, if I were to tell you in the second year of a rookie head coach that you either A, competed for the division and ended up with a wild card spot, or B, dare I say, you won the division, that is an automatic lock for coach of the year in the NFL. And again, if I look at Dan Campbell, he's set up to contend for that award. And considering it's at 10-1 odds, it's a great bet.
Yeah, it is a great bet. You know, if you go from 3 or 3.5 wins, whatever you want to call it, last year to 7, and you double your output, and it's with the Detroit Lions, voters are going to pay attention.
They're at least going
to
to
that.
pay attention. I think
Right.
9 is where we have a discussion of he might win Coach of the Year.
Now, at 9, he will make Coach of the Year unless another team with a bad record makes the playoffs, wins the division. Something crazy like that would be the only way that you can knock him off.
Yeah, I think.
But what are the chances of that happening, though?
Not
Right.
not ideal. But I would, again, it's a great bet. 10-1. It used to be 12-1. Now it's down to 10-1. People are betting on it a lot, significantly.
You better
And
get
what
on that
tells
quick
me
there,
is
brother.
There's a lot of people that believe in this MCDC train, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you what I like about him from a leadership standpoint. On the field this year, we're going to find out if he can coach. And last year, I think it's fair for me to say, and tell me if I'm wrong, that the coaching staff, not just him, but Aaron Glenn, Aubrey Pleasant, the entire staff, coached up individuals that wouldn't make a 53-man roster maybe elsewhere. Now, is that ideal? No. You prefer talented players, right?
Correct.
But the idea that the whole concept of a coach, coaching up talent, coaching up potential, getting the most out of what's given to you. I think I'm confidently saying that last year they coached up a majority of that roster, especially down, I would say, the last 7-8 games of the year. It was an improved team. It still had its bumps in the roads. It was not a winning team. It was a losing team that was improving week to week. Dan Campbell this year could jump from 3 to 9 wins, and I don't think that would surprise me. Even as again, it's the Lions. All right, like I can't go about my life right now thinking about same old Lions. I can't do it. I personally can't. I can't let it cloud my judgment. What I'm looking at is a football team I believe Terry's going to be a pain in the ass to play against. They're going to be able to run the ball whenever they want. They're going to be able to really deceive you with play action, rollout, whatever it may be, motion plays. And then if the defense can just not be 31st in the league again. Yeah, 3-8. From 3-8, 3-9. Yeah, that might get you in the Coach of the Year conversation. 100%.
Oh, it definitely will. That might even get the Lions as a team in the conversation, because the national media doesn't talk about the Detroit Lions because there's nothing really here to see. Everybody here is interested, but when you look at it from a national standpoint, there's really no reason to pay attention to the Detroit Lions outside of their ineptitude. But, the NFL's not interested in that. But if you go from 3 to 8 or 9 wins, they're in the national conversation. Here's the Detroit Lions. The sad sack Pussycats are now roaring. We're going to see all kinds of stupid stuff that people are going to write about or broadcast about this team if they make such a huge leap.
And they have the makeup of a team that can do it. X Factor players, ideally, right? And when I say X Factor, I mean players that you expect to make an impact on the field will be available this year. Hawkinson, Swift, Okuda, by the way, who was the number 3 overall pick from a previous draft class. You expect him to come out and at least give you something, and if he doesn't, F it. Season's probably not going well anyways. But the point is, you have to look at the Detroit Lions this way. They have had a bottom 3, bottom 4 pass rush for the last 7-8 years. They went out and drafted 2 pass rushers with 2 of their first 3 picks. You can check the box that, hey, we addressed it. Does that mean they're both going to work out? They're going to be all-pro? No, we cannot have that conversation right now. But what we can talk about is X specific team, whatever it may be, whoever it may be, are they addressing the needs of their football team? Are they taking players on the board at a time where it's very valuable? They're getting them higher than expected or lower than expected. They're reaching or they're stealing the player. If I look at the Lions draft class, I don't see anybody that they reached for. You don't reach for Hutchinson at 2. He was the number 1 player on everyone's board. You traded up for Jameson Williams at number 12. Justin Jefferson went 20 or 22. Jamar Chase went 5th
Technically, you could
last
say
year.
that is a reach. Although,
Even though he was the 3rd wide receiver off the board, though, if he was the 1st,
it could be a
That
reach
would've been
because of the
interesting.
injury.
yes.
Technically, you could say it is.
But what I would say to that can be true. Fine, that's fair. It also is fair to say without an ACL injury, that's probably the 1st wide receiver off the board this year. And for me, that's a lot of value at 12 because what you had seen is Drake London go and then Chris Olave go at pick 11, and the conversation was, oh, whoa. Wide receivers are starting to fall off the board.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett Wilson goes at 10. Time to go get that guy. I thought it was pretty impressive. And then pick 46, I saw Pascal as a 2nd-round pick. I didn't think they would take him at 34, but the trade dynamic really shifted everything. And taking him at 46, I think, is fair, if not very good value. Very good value. And then Kirby Joseph at 97, nobody expected him to be available. He was supposed to go between pick 66 and about pick 80. Fell to 97. Great. Good value. I didn't see the Detroit Lions reaching maybe like we saw the Patriots with Cole Strange. There are positive things that happen in the offseason. And Terry, I'm ready to put to bed the conversation of Jared Goff. I don't need Jared Goff, I told you, to be excellent, good, great. None of it. None of it. You know what I need Jared to be? Average. Be consistently average for 17 weeks. And I believe this team, 80% of the time, maybe 75%, will have an opportunity to win the football game. An
So
opportunity.
if
Not that
he's
they will.
average, you still think the Lions can win 9 games?
No, I think they can win 6 to 8.
Okay.
He's going to have to play good to get them to 8, 9, 10 wins. He's
Oh,
going to
but you
have
said you don't need him to play
No,
well.
I don't need him to play that well, no.
Well,
'Cause
actually, you do if you
want him to win 9 games, yes. But if you want, again, my definition of average, by the way, isn't just some bum. It's a guy that's consistently doing good things for you, but has a tendency to make mistakes consistently, like his fumbles, like his interceptions. And
fumbles are not going away.
yeah, small hints. It's interesting because I can walk away from last season with Jared Goff and say, you know what? Yeah, I don't like the guy as the future of this team. But I can also admit, hey, if they're able to get what they got out of his last 4 starts, which was the 4th highest passer rating in the NFL, and that was well before teams were resting players. That was around week 13, week 12, week 13. He was playing some of his best football we've seen in a Detroit Lions uniform. Now, that's not saying much, but the point is, you give me 70% of that guy. You get me Jared Goff, middle of the pack in the league, ranked between top, I would say, number 13 and number 18. Oh, I can win a lot of football games, Terry. Yeah, I don't need him to be good, excellent, great. None of that.
I think
based on good coaching, right? I mean, I'm
think
taking
you
a lot of
need
things
a little
to
bit
defend.
more out of him. You're settling for mediocrity.
No, not
which
necessarily.
is what the Lions typically do.
Not necessarily. If Dan Campbell is that guy, and I've had this conversation with you multiple times now, if Dan Campbell is that coach, yeah, I can win with average because I have a very good GM, I believe, and if he's a very good head coach, I can win with Jared Goff.
But don't you think if he's a very good coach that Jared Goff won't be mediocre? He will coach him up to be good. Not
he will be
excellent,
good, but he'll have mediocre moments, and that will never go away.
Of course not.
Just like you saw with Ryan Tannehill. You see it with Baker. You see it with Kirk Cousins. 1 week, 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. You're like, oh my God. And then the next week, 143 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And you're like, yep, oh my God. That is why they're not elite. They're not consistently very good to good. That is why they're not elite. And I don't think Jared Goff is an elite quarterback. I don't think anybody does. And unless he proves it this year, which I doubt it, he's not throwing for 4,400 yards in this offense. He's not throwing for 35-plus touchdowns in this offense. It's just not a thing. It's not how this team's going to play.
I think the key thing is when this season is over and you ask a typical Lions fan what they thought of Jared Goff, will they use the terminology bum? Because even though, I mean, we thought Matthew Stafford was a good quarterback here, he won no playoff games. They called him Pat Stafford.
We're talking about Lions fans,
but
not the brightest.
I understand that, but when it's all over, will they use the term bum?
With Jared Goff?
With Jared Goff.
No, I don't think they'll say bum.
Okay, then he's going to have a good year. He can't have an average year in this town and not be called
I don't
a
know.
bum.
This town needs to shut the hell up because they need to understand you can win with a bridge quarterback. And if they want to blame everything on Jared Goff, the only way you can do that is if he absolutely craps the bed. That's the only way. If he is so bad that you cannot overcome his play, which I don't see him being that bad this year. He is a good bridge. He is the guy that you can put in there for the next year or two and say, all right, we need to go look for our franchise guy. And while we do, by the way, we have a very good coaching staff. We have a very good front office. We have a talented roster. Hey, by the way, the quarterback is at least average and sometimes can be good. Cool. You can win games with that. Kirk Cousins, 500 record. You can win games with average. You can win games with average there.
Okay, brother, I'm not interested in winning games. I've heard this over and over from players, fans, people like you. You know, the Lions can win football games. Well, so can the Jets, and so can New England, and so can Minnesota, and so can Chicago, and so can San Diego. Everybody can win games. At some point, we've got to get out of that mentality. Hey, the Lions can win 7 or 8 games. Who the hell cares at this point? Because they've been doing that for decades, winning 7 to 8 games. And what does that get you? Nothing. Tell me a guy who can win playoff games. Tell me a guy who can quarterback a team to win a division title. I'm sick of the whole.
But you had that guy.
No. What I'm saying, I'm sick of it. Of can win games. I hate that because that doesn't tell me anything. Anybody can do that, and that's what the Lions. You know what? As bad as the Lions are, guess what they do? Sometimes they win games. Now they don't win enough games, but they win games. So I'm just tired of when they hire somebody. We can win games. Who the hell cares? Big deal. Now, I understand they are rebuilding again for like the 30th time in the last 6 years. So you would probably settle for them winning games. But the bottom line is at some points, this town has to stop saying the Lions can win games. At some point, you need to be able to say that.
Well, you need to look at the reality of the team. The reality is they have a average to maybe good quarterback. And in this league, you can win with that. And yes, the definition of winning can mean a lot of things. You can win a division with an average quarterback. You can win a playoff game with an average quarterback.
Can you win a division with this average quarterback?
I believe you can, yes. If, again, this is the biggest if of it all. It relies on, is Dan Campbell a very good head coach? If he is not, no, you cannot win with Jared Goff. Because if Sean McVay couldn't compensate for Jared Goff in the playoffs, the hell is an average to below average coach going to do in this league? It really relies on Dan Campbell being an excellent head coach. Having said that, we need to take a break. When we get back, Jeff Iafrate joins the show. We're going to get into some NBA playoffs. But before we do, Maddie,
Jeff,
could you tell us about the Sports Marketing Agency?
Yes, I can. Our friends at the Sports Marketing Agency help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the F Word, helps spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions. Go to thesportsma.com if you are struggling or know someone who is, and let them know that Woodward Sports sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Guys, if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, look no further than the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. That's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. They've got 2 ways to play: $12 unlimited open play, or you can reserve a private lane for just $120. Don't forget, they have a $2 mystery beer machine as well as multiple full bars. Go check it out at thefoalingwarehouse.com.
All right, we got Jeff joining us this morning. Terry, last
Big
night, the
Jazzy
playoffs, the Grizzlies kicked the living hell out of the Warriors with no Ja Morant. I don't even want to talk about that game right now. We'll save it for a little bit later. I want to talk about the two-time MVP, the best player in basketball, the man that single-handedly could close out a series against Boston and take his team to another Eastern Conference final and possibly set themselves up for defending and possibly repeating as NBA champions. Jeff, Giannis, they call him the Greek Freak.
Yeah.
You call him whatever you want. He's the best player in basketball, man.
Greece.
And actually, it's not even close, by the way.
I agree with you. And this is why I picked the Milwaukee Bucks to win this series, because Giannis is playing on a whole different level right now. And you saw Boston to start the series. They defended Giannis well. but you can't defend Giannis for an entire series. Like, he's going to go off, and last night was that game. The difference was in the second half. The first half, Boston more collectively played well. It was just Giannis for Milwaukee. The second half, Drew Holiday showed up. Guys were hitting shots, and they shot over 40% from three. So that's kind of what put them back into the game. And then obviously the last 2 minutes, they're down 6. Boston threw this game away. I mean, they're up 6 with 2 minutes left, and Giannis, who's, I believe, like 5 for 30-something from 3, pulls up for 3. 2 minutes left, hits it, makes it a 3-point game, which was ridiculous because if he didn't make it, now you're down 6 still, Boston has possession. So big shot by Giannis, made it a 3-point game, and then Boston just kind of beat themselves essentially. I mean, Marcus Smart had 2 turnovers late. He had the block shot. Drew Holiday stepped up. So, I mean, Boston threw that game. I mean, they should have won that game. But, again, this is why I picked Milwaukee. I mean, they have championship pedigree.
Didn't Milwaukee blow the game before in the fourth quarter? This is literally game 4 played all over again, except Milwaukee did what Boston did to them the previous game.
Yeah, and this is why I said the winner of this series is probably going to the finals. I mean, this is who I picked to come out of the East, whoever wins this series. I understand Chris Middleton's out, but Giannis is just a different man. Nobody in the NBA, and you understand this, Terry, like nobody in the NBA, you can't stop them. You just make it hard for him. Giannis, it's even difficult to make it hard for him. I mean, he's so big, he's so dominant. In Boston, I mean, they're in for a series. In Game 5, when you're up, 3-2, or you go up 3-2, usually that team wins 83% of the time.
Right. Now, here's something I've seen the last 2 weeks. Boston tried to do the same thing with Kevin Durant. And Durant, when they got physical with him, he's like, oh, my God, they're physical. Ooh, oh, my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. Giannis is like, what's up? Mm-hmm. I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. And that is that you can say that's physical, but that's also a mindset. That's a mindset that you can do all your little cheap defenses, do it, it's real cute.
Yep.
But I'm gonna still do my thing. Kevin Durant was like, oh my God, they're strong, and these little guys are strong. I can't do anything about it.
Right.
That's where I saw the torch being passed from Kevin Durant, who some people thought he was the most talented guy in basketball, to Giannis, no question.
And I think that's the difference. You have Durant, who plays on the perimeter, and you said he gets shook more easily. Giannis, interior player, like you can't really, it's like Shaq, you can't really shake these guys because they're just going to be more physical than you. So, I mean, Giannis, this is why I kind of had him as my MVP too. Like, I get it, the Bucks kind of underperformed this year, but the Bucks all year have been good. And if the game's by 3 points, I think the Bucks are like 6-1 or something throughout the season. Boston's 4-11. So that's the difference. You have a team who obviously won a championship. They're more comfortable late in games. Boston doesn't seem to be able to close. So that's something they got to work on. They got to figure it out.
Right. And another thing with Milwaukee, they had stretches where they struggled a little bit. But that's the issue with us. That's the issue with the media. It's the issue with fans. When you've won a championship, what you do is you keep everything even keel and say, hey, look, we know we're going to have bad stretches. We know we're going to get through it. So let's just do this and just be good when we have to. We don't have to be good in February. We don't have to be good in January, but we can be good in June or May. That's when it counts.
And even despite missing, a guy like Chris Middleton, I think that's what makes that. And I said this, I talked about this on the bottom line. When a team wins a championship, there's just a different aura around them. Like especially Milwaukee, no matter how far they get down. I mean, they were down 14 points last night, and they still found a way. They kept fighting, and guys hit some shots. So I still have Milwaukee winning. I picked them before the game last night. I didn't expect it to go like that. I mean, Boston looked like they were in the driver's seat, but sticking with the Bucks.
I have a question for both of you.
What's up?
And Terry, I think you're going to find this super interesting.
Let me get ready then.
Chris Middleton is not available for the entire playoffs, correct?
He's working back. He's doing light contact drills, but yeah, majority.
I don't think he's going to be available. It's pretty significant.
Yeah,
that's for Dr. Adam.
And that if he did come back, he would not be Chris Middleton. He would be 30% of Chris Middleton. If Giannis delivers back-to-back championships, Finals MVPs, you guys give me one good reason why he is not a top 4. Well, he's a power forward technically. Let's just say he's going to be higher on the all-time list, in my opinion, than guys like Kevin Durant, than guys like James Harden.
Yeah, I mean,
they have to be. Obviously, he's already better than James Harden. But my point is, all-time legacies, The guy's already a top 20 player.
Yeah.
Could he creep into the top 15 with
Yes,
another?
and here's why he would do this. Durant decided to go from Oklahoma City to Golden State to Brooklyn. Giannis, he could have gotten the hell out of Milwaukee. He could have said, "See ya, you're too small for me." But he's staying, and he's going to win another championship. Then that's going to play on people who, I don't know who these people are, but people who decide what legacies are.
Well, you want to talk about legacy? He's not going anywhere anytime soon. And if he does end up with 3, dare I say 4 titles, probably another MVP in the regular season.
You can stop at 3.
Averaging, hell yeah, stop at 3.
Yeah.
And he's averaging 28, 15, and 5 for an 8-9 year stretch. That is more impressive than some of the people, by the way, who we consider top 8.
Right.
Top 5 players.
He's getting into that LeBron conversation in terms of every year he could win the MVP. Like, he has that type of impact. Like, this year could have won MVP, gave it to Nikola Jokic. So that's just kind of what echelon he's in right now. He's so dominant, and he makes such an impact on both sides of the ball. You can make an argument for this guy. I mean, he has plenty of years left in the NBA, so his resume's not even, it's still being written.
He's 27, man.
27 years old. Like, it's...
He's 27.
This is when NBA players start thinking about, I got to win a championship.
Right.
He's already got one. He's going to probably...
He's in year 5 of his prime right now. He entered his prime in his 5th season. 27, 10, and 5. And then 27, 6, and 12. And then 30, 14, and 6. And then 28, 11, and 6. And then 30, 12, and 6 this year. That's insane. If this was LeBron, all of you would be sucking the guy's balls right now. 30, 11, and 6? NBA Finals MVP? They're gonna... Kyrie Irving went down? He's doing the same thing.
Well, give us an opportunity. We could suck his balls too. Come on now. we just not there yet. But we're getting there.
What Giannis is doing is what we always gave LeBron credit for doing, by the way. LeBron did do it.
Yeah.
And it's not obviously as hyped up because it's a kid from Greece. It's a guy that, is not the face of the league, even though he's the best player. And I think he should be the face of the league. Whatever. It doesn't matter what I think, right?
I think that also applies to him being from Greece. Like, a lot of this stuff, like, people can't imagine in their mind either. Like, look at the foreign players now. I mean, Luka Doncic, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, Giannis. Like, these guys are all going to be MVPs one day. So it's crazy how the league's moving. I mean, it's becoming more international. And Giannis is a big example of that. I mean, he was taken in the middle of the first round. And look what he became. So it's crazy. And it's honestly, and that's what the scary part of being a Pistons fan. You're going to deal with Giannis for the next 10 years. So he'll be in the
Giannis is a player.
He could become the face of the league. He's got a cute little accent.
Oh, yeah.
So I think America can accept that.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree with you.
They will fall in love with him like they did last year if he delivers the goods again. And one important thing to know about Giannis, you can build around him, shockingly.
But you know what hurts him?
Go ahead.
Playing in Milwaukee. As far as the legacy thing and people sucking balls, he's in Milwaukee, and that does hurt him a little bit.
People say LeBron's championship in Cleveland counts for 3. What the hell does a championship in Milwaukee count for?
And LeBron LeBron had to leave Miami to join a great Cleveland team. Giannis built.
And then he came back.
Yes.
And he brought 2 superstar players with him. Kevin Love was not a bum, by the way, when he showed up in Cleveland. That was 25 and 15 a night.
Yep.
Fish, what's up?
Okay, this might be a hot take.
All right.
Uh-oh.
People talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo as, really nice, humble. Agree? You guys think he's humble and nice?
Yeah, he's very nice.
Okay, there are a lot of American people that are too, but more of the international people are more humble because where did Giannis grow up? He grew up in Greece. He was poor. He had to work his way to be the best in Europe, or he had to work his way to even be known in Europe, to then even be known in the NBA, where a lot of these people in the United States, they, are rich. They go to a great college, then go to the NBA. So a lot of the American kids are snobby and cocky and all that.
That's not an excuse because most of these American kids grew up poor too.
Right.
So yes, they went to
some of them.
No,
a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them grew up poor, and playing on playgrounds with chain nets and stuff like that. So, but they changed because they went to probably a college where there's lots of money,
because
women,
of their talent. Yeah.
right. So before they get to the league, they have 4 years or 3 years or 2 years of being, hey, you know what? You're the greatest of all time. We love you.
Right.
But they grew up poor.
Okay.
And Giannis don't let him fool you. I mean, in the game, he plays pissed off. Like, he's a nice guy, but especially last night on the
It's that
court.
simple.
Yeah, no friends.
Jeff, stick
No
around.
friends. I got you.
Because the Pistons are on the clock. And Terry believes this player will leave or could leave if the Pistons do.
Jazzy Jeff is going to blow his gasket when he hears.
All right, I'm all for it.
Oh, God.
I'm all for it. We'll get to the Detroit Pistons in just a second, but before we do, I told you for the last 2 days I was going to do it. I haven't had time. I'm an ass, but this time I mean it. I'm getting my haircut today, and I'm getting rid of this goddamn grizzly beard, and I'm going to be doing it at Lady Jane's, where they offer the best and most precise haircuts available. Their stylist will take care of you like they always take care of me. Walk in anytime, 10 to 8, 7 days a week. No appointment needed. Go in and get your hair game ready. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
You guys, I have to tell you about Odds Trader. OddsTrader.com is the #1 site for all your game day bets. For play-by-play updates, live scores, and bet tracking, you can download the Odds Trader app from the App Store today. Don't forget, you'll find the best price on every game and sign up offers from multiple sports books. If you visit oddstrader.com, don't forget they also have player statistics and key game stats. Head to oddstrader.com right now.
Dying. Jeff, sit your ass down. Terry, Pistons are on the clock. Explain to Jeff what you were telling me last night. What?
And I'm going to agree with him, sit your ass down, because you can't be standing up for this. But I do believe this. The Pistons are on the clock with Cade Cunningham. And, yesterday I mentioned that the Tigers are on the clock with A.J. Hinch. If they don't show him that they can win after this season, I think he'll walk.
Yeah.
Now, you have more time with Cade Cunningham. And I know Cade is, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my buffs, and I love Detroit, and it's the greatest city in the whole world. But when you look at the mentality of the NBA player, if you can't satisfy that player, if you can't show that player that we're serious about winning, that I'm going to surround you with a team, at the end of his rookie contract, that's the timetable you have. I think Cade will walk. Grant Hill, I love Detroit, even though Detroit doesn't love me. NBA, when a guy turns 27, he's like, oh, damn, I don't have a ring.
Yeah.
I haven't even competed for a ring, so I'm going to do everything I can to try to get one. I think Cade Cunningham is one of those dudes, because Isaiah Thomas is in his ear, who's thinking already, what can I do not to win games like Adham likes? That's a pussy take, by the way, but that's all right. But he's thinking,
I'm drinking water. What the hell you want from me?
What can I do?
What the hell? What happened? Whoa, wait, whoa. What? What? Take? What?
Oh, you
caught a stray.
Good job, Terry. Get him
they
rattled.
can win football games. But anyway, Cade is one of those guys. I'm thinking at a certain point, when he's not going to be howdy doody his entire life, but that's the guy you got to demonstrate to him. Okay, we're on the right path. If you stay here, you will be a champion. So I think they've got 3 years to show that to him.
Yeah.
Pistons are on the clock. Now, I don't want to scare you.
No, Terry, and I appreciate. You need conversations like this. I think the reality is in the NBA, you're absolutely right. If you're in a situation, and Giannis is different because they were winning, obviously, but if you're in a situation you're not winning, players, they're going to leave. It's a mobility league. Players have control. They're going to want to go to teams that can win. With Cade, I don't think it'll be at the end of his rookie contract. I think I think he'll stick it out more than that. You said 27. I think that's a more fair age. If he's 10 years in with the Pistons and they haven't won, then of course he's going to weigh his options.
He's not going to be here 10 years if they don't win a championship, or if they're not sniffing one. I will
say this. I think what separates, and this is why I'm so glad they didn't mess this up and took Jalen Green, because I think there's a mentality difference. Jalen Green in Houston, I could see him leaving. But with Cade, I think he's obviously Cade and his whole family, they love the city of Detroit, but you said Grant Hill did as well, so I don't think that really matters. I think he does see the future with Detroit. He sees Troy Weaver. There is a sense of upside. It's not like we're the same old Pistons. I don't think that's going to be the case. This team is going to continue to add talent. You're absolutely right. You have to show Cade you can win games. I mean, it's not about missing the playoffs.
You're going to have to
year.
botch the next 6 seasons.
Yes, for him to literally
actually
claw
leave.
his way out. And I think Cade as a player is going to have an impact to where he won't be a loser. I think as his game develops, he's going to be a reason why the Pistons are winning games.
By 2024, this will be a team that's playing in the playoffs. And that'll be Cade's 3rd year.
And we haven't even been through a free agency yet. So I think there's a lot to do.
Will they win a playoff series?
When will they win?
That's a wait and see. Who knows what the roster is by
then?
See,
that's going to be critical. Making the playoffs and then getting swept out of the first round. Andre Drummond did that.
Yep, Reggie Jackson days.
Reggie Jackson did. And we're not praising them.
God, no. But again, there's evolution, right? You need to take steps forward. You start off as a losing team. You get to the playoffs. You lose a series to start it. The following year, you get to the playoffs. You win a series. You compete. Maybe you advance to the conference finals or you get sent home. There is an evolution to how the team grows. I think, Terry, it's just going to depend on who's the number 2.
Right.
Who's the second guy. I'm not worried about Cade delivering. Cade put up 22, 5, and 5 post All-Star break. Like, that's an All-Star player.
Now, Cade knows he's going to deliver, but will the rest of these bums deliver? That's the question.
Well, we could have said the same thing about Giannis's team for the first 7 years, too.
Yes, and to your point, you talked about post-All-Star break. Well, post-All-Star break, the Pistons were a little under 500. So the better he played, the better the team got. And to your point, Terry, yes, they have to add talent. Absolutely. They're going to have a lottery pick this year. We haven't even gone through a legitimate free agency class with Troy Weaver, spending big money. I don't think it'll be this summer, hopefully not. But in the future, you're going to need to add talent. And I think they understand that. I mean, I'm assuming, Tom Gores and Troy Weaver, those guys understand, like, we have to build a winner because, like you said, Cade has his future in his own hands. He can choose to leave. I don't think he will. I think there's a sense of, I really do believe this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I get a sense of I want to finish what I started. I get that out of Cade. Now, that could change, obviously, with losing, like you said. But a part of me does see Cade, how he started here in Detroit, the losing. He doesn't want to they want to turn the ship around. Not just Cade, Sadiq, and the rest of the guys. So they just have to add talent. I think that's what it comes down to. You add more talent, and I think they'll win more games. We don't even know if Dwayne Casey's really the head coach. I love Dwayne, but this team hasn't fully...
Oh, you want me to give you the answer? I already know. I have inside information.
He's a Jeff Blashill.
No, I have inside information.
Shut up.
I can confirm.
Maybe he does.
He beat me to it. What inside did you get?
I have inside information.
Yes.
Dwayne Casey will be part of... I can hear Maddie. I can't see her.
Inside your own brain.
Dwayne Casey will be part of the Detroit Pistons' first playoff series that they get to in 2 years. And when the team finally has a bump in the road, like I expect them to by year 4, year 5 of this, where they win a playoff series and then they come up short, he's gone.
Yeah.
I think he's around for the next 2 years.
Yeah, I agree with you.
There's no way he leaves Like, why? He has a track record of getting number 1, number 2 seeds in Toronto. He can win you, Terry. He can win you games. Can he win you playoff series? I don't think so. But the Pistons are in no position right now to bring in a Steve Kerr.
Right. Because you talked about there's steps. And
there's an evolution this team needs to take.
Yes.
And Dwayne Casey, I believe, with a talented roster, can get you 48, 52 wins.
You just got to win playoffs. I get like playoffs.
And then when the playoffs come and you start becoming a disappointment in the playoffs, then we can talk about, hey, this guy just isn't good enough, bring in the next guy. Then we can have that conversation.
Yeah, because I know the Pistons have been on hard times, but this is a championship team. This is a team that won championships in 89 and 90 and 2004.
Yep.
So that pedigree is there, and that mentality and that mindset is there. We want to at least compete for championships. Now, there's other teams that have never sniffed one, and if they win their 45, 55 games and the arena's filled,
Utah,
they're
damn
fine.
it, we
Utah.
good.
Yep.
Basically Utah.
Yeah, Utah.
And I think that's what also is going to help Cade is he's a part of an organization, and I'm not taking strays, but he's not a part of like the Houston Rockets, at least of lately, where, you know, or anybody, Sacramento, you can name a bunch of teams, or Utah you mentioned, that are just okay. Like Cade understands the history. Obviously, Isaiah Thomas and everybody, I'm sure, are in his ear. So I have faith he'll be here for at least the long run. I don't know what the future. It's hard to like determine what the Pistons are going to be in 10 years, but I think they're on track. So I'm excited.
Okay, you don't have 10 years.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully,
You don't have 10.
Terry, if you're winning 7 of those years, I think he'll be here. But who knows? You don't know.
No. If they are still around 500, I know they're not even at 500, but if they're around 500 and maybe making the playoffs every other year and getting mollywopped, he's out.
I think the coach would be out too. Like
Yeah,
something's got to
of
be out because if they're not winning, if you're going 500, and we got to look at the roster too. If the roster's talented and you're only going 500, someone's getting blamed. And, you know, who knows?
Private stuff. Cade can go in there and say, it's either me or him. Who is it?
Yeah.
Me or Dwayne Casey? Dwayne Casey, see you, fella. Love you. You're gone.
Yeah, and I think that's the kind of importance he has. So we'll see. I think he's a special player, man. The impact he has, that's what makes him different from all the other rookies in his class.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
But even though he's a nice guy, we all love him, he could, you know, he could be what other NBA superstars are. He could throw those claws out and say, hey, I don't like Dwayne Casey. What are you going to do about it? Or
True.
I don't like the direction of this team. What y'all going to do about it?
And we have to think, too, with Cade, like this is a guy who had offers to everywhere, and he went to Oklahoma State to join his brother. Like that's the type of, you know, he's a humble guy. I mean, and I'm saying you can't be humble for 10 years of losing, so I get what you're saying.
But didn't a family member get a hook up there?
What'd you say?
Didn't a family member get a hook up there?
Well, yeah, his brother's the assistant coach.
Well,
but
come
I'm saying,
on now. Don't
I'm
give me
saying
this.
it's not about, you know, joining a Duke or, you know, whatever it is. It's just about, hey, I'm the player I am. No matter where I am, I'm gonna have an impact. So I think that's kind of his
Or it
mentality.
was Oklahoma City saying, you know what? Or not Oklahoma City, but
State,
Oklahoma
yeah.
State saying, we're willing to get into the mud. So you got to be willing to do that,
Like,
right? Yeah,
maybe slim
cheddar, baby.
They might have got him a little
Like
something,
Michigan State, I don't think Michigan State's willing to get into the mud. Oklahoma State is.
Yeah.
Like, what we got to lose? We're in the middle of Oklahoma. Nobody pays attention to us. Even when we kick up Oklahoma's ass, nobody gives us credit. So we might as well
Jeff,
get in
you
the
chilling?
mud.
What?
You chilling?
Yeah.
Sit your ass down.
I got a big question for him, though. You can't let him go yet.
Well, ask it in about a minute and a half.
Okay, I'll do that.
Fair enough?
Sure.
All right, but before we do, Jeff, tell everybody at home about Cintron, please.
Oh, I can, because the summer of Cintron is here. And now Cintron is officially available at Kroger. Make sure you pick up some while you are shopping right now. Get 2 Cintrons for only $4. Cintron is a new energy drink for the active lifestyle. I would know. I steal them all the time, and I love Cintron. Drink it, live it with Cintron.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the Odds Trader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to Odds Trader, and best of luck.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
You know what you can enjoy while watching the Tigers suck? Wingstop. Fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken. Wingstop has the best traditional wings. Try out their signature sauces, either in the Jamaican jerk or lemon pepper. Their wings are tossed to perfection in any sauce you so choose. When the wings are this good, you're allowed to be a snob. Order online now at wingsnob.com. Wingsnob. We just have better wings.
Yeah, we know you like Jamaican jerk in your mouth, Jeff.
That was
We
for
know.
real?
All right. This flu Adam is just different. All right. He changed.
Fish was saying I have nicknames for everybody.
Yeah.
I do. I have nicknames for all of y'all.
Yeah, you
I
have
haven't
nicknames
really
for
told you.
everyone. Jazzy Jeff.
You're Jazzy Jeff.
Okay.
Right? You're Mad Max.
Ah.
And Mad D and Max, because you're kind of a wild child.
Maddie, shut the hell up and accept the nickname.
Adam.
Dictator
What,
Adam's
what do you
here.
think Adam's nickname is?
Wasn't he the atomic dog?
It's bitch, yes, but atomic dog.
Atomic dog. I mean, that fits.
Bow wow wow, yippee-yi, yippee-yay.
Hell yeah, Terry.
He goes, hell yeah, Terry.
All right, Jeff, NFL Power Rankings were released. The Lions sit going into the season 24th in the NFL. 24th, and they're behind one team, Terry. That is very questionable. The Washington Commanders. So, Terry, we discussed Vegas's numbers, 6.5 for the Lions.
Yes.
That's the 4th worst record if they finished within that margin.
Right.
NFL.com has them as selecting 9th, 10th overall, depending on where you want to put them right now. I think it's a team that surprises people this year, but that fourth place schedule isn't what people think it is. The Jets, a lot better. Miami, a lot better.
What? You really are dying in here. We need help.
He's speaking facts, though.
Hey, but wait a minute. He went from Adam to my great grandpappy. Kids, the Jets right there.
Oh God.
Belts.
God damn you guys.
We got it.
Jets are better. Miami's better.
Yes.
The Eagles will be better. The Cowboys, although I think they suck, will still be a tough matchup. The Giants got better. New head coach, new GM, Thibodeau, Evan Neal. I think Daniel Jones will have a better year, even though they're probably going to move off of him. The Commanders, they have Carson Wentz, who can win you games, but he's not special.
Oh, my Lord. This again?
Oh, my goodness. Terry, welcome to the NFL, man. You don't
Carson
like it?
Wentz sucks.
Oh, all right. Whatever. The definition of sucks.
Real great leader, too.
We can't.
Not a leader at all. Again, not a franchise guy.
Oh,
Why
really?
they traded peanuts for him, but beyond the point. They sucked at quarterback last year. They got better. You go into the division, I think you have to beat Chicago twice, Detroit. I think that's a must. Minnesota's going to be damn good. I think they're the division winners this year, in my opinion. I think the Packers take a big step back. I think Aaron Rodgers retires around week 4 and goes to host Jeopardy. So that's how I have the season playing out in the division. And then outside of that, they play the Seahawks. It's a game you should probably be favored in. You're playing other teams. This is a schedule that on paper you may look at and say, oh, the Lions, Terry, we're going to win all these games. I don't think that way. And actually, once the schedule is fully released, I plan on doing a full breakdown of each week and the matchup for both teams.
I can't wait.
And that'll be really fun going into the season.
Yeah.
But
are you going to tell us what's going to happen? Are you going to go?
I'm going to. Hopefully I'm not sick. The point is, for every win they get this year, it'll tell you what they can be. All right? I've been saying Dan Campbell needs to prove that he can be a very good coach in the league. Is he elite? Sean Payton? Is he Sean McVay? Is he Cal? Who knows? That is such a difficult and I believe unreasonable thing to put on anybody, right? No, when Matt LaFleur was first hired, nobody was saying this guy is the next Sean McVay, Andy Reid. Now they.
In fact, I heard this guy's a bum.
Yeah,
but he proved that's not the case.
You can walk into the league and have immediate success, or you can struggle in the beginning and then win like a Zach Taylor. Hell, even like an Andy Reid, Bill Belichick. These things can happen. With Dan Campbell, I think it's very important this year that this team is a good football team, Terry. Not because of the talent, not because of expectations, because that proves that he can coach.
Yeah.
And if Dan Campbell can coach, you're probably winning a division in the next 2 years, by the way. FYI. Just so everybody can wake up a little bit. Because you have a GM that's going to put a lot of talent on this roster.
And that's why I believe this year will dictate kind of the narrative around Dan Campbell. I think it's a big year for him. Obviously, last year was an ugly year, but you kind of were able to give him a little bit of a pass, considering who was available, who was not. This year, I think, whatever they do this year, if they win 7-8 games, or if they win another 3 games, that's going to dictate the narrative. You can't win another 3-4 games this year. So that's why I've always said, and I've been consistent with this, the Lions should win a minimum of 6 games. I mean, that's still not too impressive, but still 6 games with this roster. I think we went through it last week, or this week rather. I think we went 8, 9 wins.
You had 8 wins.
8 wins. So
you guys want to hear something crazy?
That's fair too.
Another NFL schedule leak. Lions open up at home to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Where did you hear that? Corey. Okay.
That brings back a little bit
Scoop
of
Woods.
a little
Shut
bit of
the hell up,
PTSD from last year. Eagles completely just beat the brakes off us. But
who the hell called Andre Drummond a superstar?
Yeah,
Please tell me that's a joke. All right. I want to know who. Was it Matthew Kruger? Matthew, you're smarter than this.
A superstar in Detroit. Well, no, he was an all-star.
Matthew, if he's a superstar in Detroit, I'm a fucking Hall of Fame goddamn football player. Andre Drummond was good for 3 things. All right? Being a shit DJ, missing open shots, and being a pussy. That's what Andre Drummond was.
Well, but let me say this. He was the best DJ Mount Pleasant had in the last 5 years.
That's not true.
I mean,
who was better?
True.
Who? You?
Huh?
Who? You?
Yeah.
You were DJ up there?
No, I wasn't.
At the wayside?
Just swap out star. You can call him super. You can call him a super pussy, a super DJ, a super... You can call him a super bitch. Just don't call him a superstar.
Oh,
that's all I ask.
Oh, damn. How about, can I call him a competent NBA player?
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
average.
he made 2 All-Star games in Detroit. I mean, we'll call him an All-Star in Detroit, but
Imagine being
superstar.
7 foot and not averaging 14 rebounds a game. What a disaster you would be in the NBA.
It happens.
What a bum.
Now, I'm
And then
going
there
to
was
say
Piston fans,
I'm
my
going
favorite.
to say this in a nicer way than Adam, but
I just say the
there's
truth.
certain guys who have some talent. They can do some things.
Yeah.
I think Andre Drummond was one of them. What he lacked was that mentality to be a killer.
Mm-hmm.
That mentality to say, you know what? I know we're playing 3 in 5 days, but I'm going to be a bitch in a good way in all 3 of these games. You don't want to play me. Rather than, oh, I'm going up against Joel Embiid. I'm scared. Woo.
Right.
That's
He doesn't rise to the occasion. That was what he always lacked.
he doesn't fight through adversity.
Yeah.
Is that okay, Atomic Dog?
Just say he's a pussy.
Who is definitely better than Andre.
Who the hell is
Okay,
DJ
guys,
Pauly D?
please, let me just clarify this for you. Let me explain to you the Andre Drummond syndrome. It's a disease that was in this town for way too long. It was to the point where if you're a Detroit Pistons fan, you were happy with being the 8th seed, getting swept, and watching Andre Drummond put up 12 and 14 a game. And it was the most meaningless, useless, pathetic 12 and 14 you'll ever see in your life. And then there was that one game every season where he put up 30 and 15, 30 and 20. And you're like, here he comes. Here's Andre Drummond. I knew the DJ
There's something wrong
lessons
with
were
this
going to
dude.
pay off.
There is.
And that's the issue with
Drummond.
Andre. Like, if Andre left the Pistons and had a flourishing career somewhere else, I could say, all right, you know
my
what?
nuts.
He was on
my
three
nuts.
different teams in the
The
last
hair
3
on my nuts could outproduce Andre Drummond in the NBA. Do you understand how useless he was in the NBA? He is useless. By the way, where's Corey Woods? Corey, you dumb motherfucker. You know what?
Hey, that's my pal.
I don't care. He's a dumb motherfucker when I tell you what he said. Sorry, Fish. I'm swearing a lot today. I'm not feeling good. Corey,
Don't be sorry for
fuck
me.
you.
Sorry for Justin.
Fish, shut the hell up and record everything. Corey, fuck you. And let me tell you why. This guy, Corey, said that Andre Drummond would make the Los Angeles Lakers championship contenders when he was sent there in the offseason.
I mean...
What'd you watch in Detroit?
No. He got in the way.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, maybe Corey was having a bad day.
I don't know. We got to get him in here to talk about this. This is BS.
He just took up acres in the paint for LeBron. I mean, he didn't really do anything beneficial. He rebounded.
He
but-
sucks as guys. If you're 7 feet and you're not getting double-digit boards, you really have a problem. Andre Drummond was just doing what his body told him to do, which is, I'm 7 foot. Nobody's contesting this rebound. Let me put my hand in the air and grab it. What a difficult skill, Andre. Oh, wow. You were really boxing out some of the better big men in the league. Unbelievable.
Well, he did get double-digit rebounds for the rebuilding Detroit Pistons.
Oh, my God. What are we doing in the chat? Guys, you are all much more educated than what you are showing me right now. Please read what you're typing before you send it. DeAndre Ayton is no Andre Drummond 2.0.
Oh, God.
That must be one of the dumbest things I've read, and I've seen some shit.
Yeah, because people, what they do is they look at stats and go,
right,
that's not, no. You have to watch DeAndre Ayton play. Like, the way he affects winning and the way Andre affects winning.
If Luka Doncic can almost average 9 rebounds a game in the regular season, the hell was Andre Drummond doing all those years?
Well, he did average 16 and 17 rebounds a game. Now, you're saying he only averaged single digits. That would be a fib.
No. I meant, I said, what's his name? I just said his name.
DeAndre?
No. Luka Doncic.
Averaging 9 rebounds.
I'm saying, like, the point is, like, a guard in the league today, and really over the last 5, 6, 7 years, they've been getting rebounds.
But it's not like Luka's 6'1" or something. He's a big dude with a big butt.
Chris Paul averages 5 rebounds a game. He's a smaller man.
Okay, and Andre Drummond averaged some years 14, 15 rebounds a game. Sometimes he would get 21 rebounds in a game.
I don't know.
The thing you can't fault him for is rebounding, because that's what he did. Now, what he couldn't do...
DeAndre Drummond is a superstar rebounder and below piss at everything else. Fair?
What frustrates me about the rebounding is, like, he obviously was a lower on the lower end of field goal percentage for centers. He did his own
how
rebound.
he rebounded against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoff series.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Kyrie Irving out-rebounded him.
Yes, that's a very good
LeBron
point.
James had more rebounds than him.
And that's the mentality thing Terry was talking about. I mean, it's...
Because he's a bitch.
Yeah,
But we got really off topic, so I need to take us to break. When we get back... Oh, Terry.
What's wrong? Oh, man, he's really struggling.
Tigers were shut out again.
And I watched almost the whole game. I don't know what's wrong with me.
So I'm going to ask you what the hell's going on, but before I do, I need to tell you guys about Sticker Genius, the official sticker and signage sponsor of the Woodward Sports Network. Custom reusable stickers, signs, and more. Visit them at stickergenius.com. That's stickergenius.com. They revamped and re-wrapped our entire studio in less than 24 hours. Check them out again at stickergenius.com. Let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners of the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on the Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Adam?
Yo.
You're
Struggling
doing
out
great,
here.
honey.
Struggling. What's up, Terry?
Nothing, man.
Tigers suck.
They do, and I have a problem. I do.
Jabba was at the game yesterday. He saw a good loss.
No.
You know who else was at the game last night?
Maz.
The Detroit Pistons.
Oh my God! That's why they lost. I knew it. I knew I saw a video on social media last night. Maz jinxed the goddamn Tigers. That's why they. This all makes so much sense now. Maz attended the game,
But he didn't even want to go to the
scared.
game.
They saw Maz. They thought he was the baseball. Oh my God! Now I know what the hell happened. Oh,
is
no
Maz,
wonder they didn't get any hits last night.
Was Maz going to every game? Is he going to games on the road too? No, you can't blame that on
You
Maz.
never know. Maz is an undercover guy. He
is
said it in the
undercover.
video. He
Yep.
loves baseball.
He does.
Wouldn't surprise me if he's at every game. No
He
wonder
loves
they
stale
suck.
peanuts, too.
No wonder
He
they
does.
suck. This all makes sense to me now. Cool. Yeah, they lost because of Maz.
Okay.
Not because they can't hit the
Whatever
ball.
you have to tell yourself.
Yeah, it's getting bad.
Mm-hmm.
You brought up sending down Torkelson.
Or sending somebody else down besides Akil Badu. And if I had
they all
choose
suck right now.
one person, it would be Torkelson, because not only do I want him to fix that swing, I'm not sure I want him to be around these bums. Because he's a rookie, he's impressionable, and he might think this is the way it is in Major League Baseball, and it's not. And is it time for us to see Cody Clemens?
The guy that... can we just die from Al Avila? Can we get rid of Al Avila, by the way? I mean...
Yes, get him out
How
of
many
here.
number one picks do you need to miss on? How many top picks do you need? How many all-star caliber players do you have that you trade away for Dick? I mean, this is...
You whiff on all of them.
Every single one of those players. You didn't even get one.
There's 6 players involved for J.D. Martinez and Justin Verlander. You went 0 for 6. And this is 3 years later. And if you trade for a prospect, after year 3, they should either be in the major leagues contributing, but these guys, many of them are still in the minor leagues. One guy you cut. Other guys have been up for a cup of coffee and haven't even batted 200. So you went 0 for 6 on the JD and JV trades. That's ridiculous. And I don't mean to make you sicker than you actually are, but that's reality.
Steve, shut the hell up, man. That was the first bad night the pitching staff has had in a while. What's wrong with you?
Was he bitching about the pitching last night? Is Steve bitching
Steve's
about...
bitching about the pitching. It's been like their best thing all year.
Well, last night, yes, you had a rookie. It was his first major league start. He had no command. Yeah, it was bad last night.
Allegedly, AJ Hinch went on the radio today and blasted the entire team and said if Torkelson doesn't get his act together, he's getting sent down to the minors.
Okay.
And I don't see
I'm for it.
anything news related that's saying that, but let's say I take that for face value and that's true. Good. Good. You need to wake this team up. And Torkelson, love you, man. You got to be batting 220 minimum. Minimum. Your rookie year. You can't be in the ones. That's embarrassing. I don't care how bad everyone is around you. When you step up to the plate, yes, again, quality at bats, good plate discipline. But even when the pitches are in the zone, you are swinging and missing. That's a problem. You're chasing pitches. Put your arm around the player. Say, hey, man, deep breath. Take the first pitch. Stop chasing. Wait for your pitch. Don't let the pitcher beat you. All right? Fight off anything close and wait for your pitch. But when you're swinging and missing on pitches inside of the zone, you have a big problem. You have a big problem.
Yeah, but you know, I'm all for AJ sending a message to the team. Sending Torkelson down to Toledo is not sending a message to the team because he's a rookie. You send him down because you're trying to help him. But if you want to send a message to the team, you send down bums like Scope, Candelara.
Has Al Avila replaced Matt Millen as the worst GM in Detroit sports history?
No, he is not.
Why?
Because Matt Millen was the worst GM in all of sports. I'm not saying the Lions were great, but he ruined that franchise. And that franchise is still recovering from Matt Millen. I mean, dude, they won 27% of their games under him. I can't put Al Avila in that category yet.
Oh, man. I don't know. Under Al Avila's tenure, they suck, man.
They do.
And it's getting worse and worse. And attendance has dropped every single season since Al Avila has taken over. Every single year, attendance has gotten worse. Every single year, they have scored less and less and less runs. Oh, my God. This is depressing. Since Al Avila took over, they have a win percentage of 43%, 51%, 41%, 39%, 30%, 39%, 46%, 36%.
At some point, as they did under Matt Millen, Tiger fans are going to have to revolt.
I don't know. I'm willing to have the conversation that he's worse.
I'm not.
And I'll tell you why. Because Al Avila walked in to the perfect situation. He walked in with a team full of stacked players that you could trade on the open market and get quality return for. He walked into a team that was not going to spend money, so the team was saving money. They could build and build and build and build the funds while the LCA was being built. No pressure to win for about 4 years. Get the minor league picks, get the prospects, get the manager. And you know what he's done? Nothing. That, to me, is worse than Matt Millen doing what every Lions GM has done before him. Suck. Now, did he suck at an exceptional level? He absolutely did. But,
bro, 27% of the games under Matt Millen were victories. When he finally won his first game, him and Bill Ford Jr. had that embarrassing love fest in the press box or in their private suite. He ran away talent. And by the way, when he took over, the Lions were one play away from making the playoffs. So they weren't awful. But then
but they weren't coming. But they didn't have a
one play away.
Matt Millen sucked ass, okay? I can agree. But he didn't walk into a team that was coming off 4 consecutive ALCS appearances. Or I believe 3 in 4 years. And a World Series appearance. And he didn't walk into a team with talent like Verlander, JD Martinez. He had a bunch of players available to him where you look and say, you know what? If we're going to go into a rebuild, I'm going to stack draft picks, I'm going to stack the farm, and I'm going to have this team turned around in 5 years. Let's say, and I'm being friendly on giving him 5. It's been, 6, 7 years now? And he's done dick.
Matt Millen was
nothing.
Here for almost 10 years and didn't do dick. 0-16.
So I have to wait 3 more years to call. I don't care if they went 0-16. Oh my God.
2-14.
Look, the record, I agree, awful. What's worse? The fact that Millen sucked all the way around and who he hired was awful, or the fact that Al Avila had a situation where he could actually take this team from contenders into a rebuild and back into contenders, and what he's done is, we have a bunch of, nothing.
Wasn't that what Matt Millen was supposed to do? Oh, by the way, Matt Millen, and we make fun of the Lions now because they don't make the playoffs, but before he took over after the 90s, a time when the Lions did make the playoffs 4 times in a decade, a time when they actually did win a playoff game.
Yep, okay. Again, I can't not agree on how bad Matt Millen was. But I think it can be a conversation when I tell you that Al Avila took the Tigers so far backwards, I can't even quantify it. It is embarrassing given what he had available to him. Matt Millen walked in, and what were his assets? And granted, he effed it all up. The Dre Bly situation, Steve Mariucci, Mike Williams, Damian Woody, Bo Schneider. I mean, I can go on all the decisions that he made that were just awful. Jeff Backus. So many awful decisions. He sucked ass. Rod Marinelli as a head coach.
Oh, you know what? I should probably forgive you in this conversation because when Matt Millen was the GM, you probably weren't born yet.
When he took over, I wasn't. Towards his tenure, when everything was a disaster, I was old enough to be like, who the F is this guy? And then obviously as I got older, I just researched a ton. But maybe I'm a bit ignorant right now. But Al Avila, Terry, he took a championship. He took a championship team, went into a rebuild, and somehow walked out of the rebuild, Terry, with nothing in the farm system, no draft picks, nothing. No talented players on the roster right now.
Well, the only thing he did is the farm system is stronger under Avila than it was under Dave Dombrowski.
Yeah, but Dave Dombrowski had players that weren't in the farm system because they were playing in the majors and they were winning games. Who are we calling up right now? Who? None of them.
Cody Clemens. He'll probably be called up at some point. And you will call up Akil Baddoo because technically he's in the minors now.
All right, maybe Matt Millen is the scum of the earth and I'm just being very mean towards Al Avila.
No, you should be mean to Al Avila. He's a disaster. Like I told you, JV and JD, he got 6 prospects 3 years ago.
Nothing out of him.
Nothing.
Again, that's awful.
It's terrible.
Can you at least can we at least end this conversation somewhat in the middle? Al Avila is approaching Matt Millen territory.
We can agree on that.
Okay.
You know what? How about they're in the same neighborhood now?
Thank God. All right, cool. Then we're good then.
But Matt Millen is living in the house that's crumbling, and Al Avila, no, he's in the house that's crumbled. It's ruins now, and Al Avila is in the house that's crumbling, but hasn't quite hit the ground yet, but it's on its way.
Al Avila needs to get on a diet before he makes another baseball decision. Having said that, speaking of diets, there is no better place to get your eat on and not regret it than Big Boy. His Big Boy has literally the freaking best food and dessert. As someone that was spoiled as a kid, it used to be Big Boy Saturdays, the buffet.
Big Boy Saturdays.
Oh yeah, my mom used to take us every Saturday.
They should
and
brand
that hot fudge ice cream sundae was sex.
Well, you know they're doing a food drop here today.
They are.
During the bottom line, so check it out. But
dropping
they
off that strawberry.
Brought back the Strawberry Fest to Big Boy. They brought back some of the classic breakfast items like strawberry French toast, hotcakes, waffles. If you want lunch, they've got a new strawberry bacon chicken wrap, a crispy chicken wrap, nacho wrap, or strawberry salad. And don't forget, of course, the dessert. How could ya? They've got a strawberry pie for just $1.99 with the purchase of $7.99 or more at participating Big Boy locations.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
At Wing Snob, staying humble's not our forte. We just have better wings. We're back at it again with our crispy golden brown fries and our famous boneless wings. Juicy, tender, hormone-free chicken. Your favorite signature sauces with no bone. Just when you thought Wing Snob couldn't get any better. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wing Snob. We just have better wings.
Detroit sports by Detroiters and for Detroiters. This is Detroit Sports Network. This is Woodward Sports.
If you are looking to stay safe and have peace of mind, look no further than Guardian Alarm. Whether you're at home or on the road, their 24/7 local monitoring. Make sure what's important to you is safe. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for peace of mind. That's right, you heard Fish. 1-800-STAY-OUT right now and let them know that Woodward Sports sent you.
Leafs are going to win tonight. Toronto's coming back. Hockey's coming home. How do you not?
I'd say Toronto are my favorites to win the cup right now outside of the Avalanche.
They sure look good.
The Maple Leafs.
Maple Leafs.
Yeah, Leafs.
I know
Toronto.
they have all of history against them, but Austin Matthews is unbelievable. Terry, what do we got right now? We got the Detroit Lions are projected to finish with the 4th worst record, like we discussed a little bit earlier, based on Vegas's 6.5 win total.
Right. Well, Vegas and the NFL are saying two different things.
Yes.
Sort of.
Are you upset, or if they finish 6-11 and they have the 4th overall pick, what's your takeaway on the season?
You know, increment,
Bless you.
improvement. It would be, I would still say, you know, it's just what the Lions do. Same old Lions. They win their little 6 or 7 games. You know, but I think the narrative in this town, because people are so eager for the Lions to do well, I think Dan Campbell will be championed a little bit because he went from 3 to 6, and I'm sure they'll be competitive in most of these games. They'll have a couple fake comebacks. I think this town would be semi-excited if he won 6. Me, not.
I'm with you on that. Just to offer some context, Jim Schwartz won 3, 6, then 10 in his first 3 years in Detroit. So you can see that year-to-year growth, and it actually work out where you finally have a double-digit win season. The question will be, does Dan Campbell... Are you able to identify Dan Campbell's ceiling as a head coach by the end of the year? And I hope the answer is no.
No, the answer is no. It's too soon.
I think by November, you're going to have a good idea of... By November, you'll have about 25 to 30 game sample size of how he coaches. Right?
But that doesn't tell you where his ceiling is.
It tells you a lot, actually. I'll tell you why. Because I can see now... I like to picture scenarios, right? So I'll take the perfect example and say, if I gave this style of play, this style of coaching, this format, more talent, and a better quarterback, would it be functional? Would it be good? Would it be contending? Would it be Super Bowl contending? And I think between those 4, you can figure out, oh my goodness, if you gave Dan Campbell a quarterback, if that's the conversation we're having, I think that's a very good thing to have. If the conversation at the end of the year becomes, wait till Dan Campbell, 1, gets his quarterback in the door, and then 2, they add a little 2, 3 more players that are impact players, watch out for the Lions and Dan Campbell. That's a damn good thing. Now, his ceiling hasn't been identified, and that's why I said I don't want to know it by the end of the year. But if it's...
But I'm saying you rush to judgment too much. You're not. This is a second-year coach, and I don't think at the end of 2 years you can tell where somebody's ceiling is.
I think at the end of year 1, you knew Freddie Kitchens wasn't a head coach. I think at the end of year 3,
do you know Dan Campbell's ceiling right now?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm
well,
not saying
he's been there for a whole year.
Well, it's not enough time. I just said November.
You just said
Yes.
Freddie Kitchens you knew after 1 year.
Because he was ball sack. He was the definition of awful.
Okay, but that's an extreme.
It's not. I can list 5 coaches right now that after 1 year, you could identify we're never going to work out. We'll start with Freddie Kitchens. We'll go to Hugh Jackson.
Clean your mustache, dude. I can't look at you.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, talk for a little bit.
I don't think you can do that with Dan Campbell because he's not atrocious as a coach. Yes, there are extremes where you can tell that a guy is awful from day one. Matt Patricia, you could tell from day one, he was awful from this standpoint. One, he was a jerk. Two, he ignored the advice that the whole NFL gave him. Don't come into Detroit being Bill Belichick. He's like, screw you. That's exactly what he did.
Let's bring up I think a better example. Jim Caldwell. Year 1, 11-5, holy hell, right? 11 wins in your first season as Lions coach. No ceiling yet, right? Sky's the limit. Year 2, they go 7-9 after a really good start to the year. We all know what happened. But again, after 2 years, I cannot confidently tell you, hey, at that moment in time, Caldwell had a ceiling. Because I just saw him win 11 games. And he very well could win more than that in the near future. Then they go 9-7, Terry. And the way they lost in that playoff game to Seattle, the way they lost to Cincinnati, the way they lost some of the games down the stretch, told me that the ceiling for this team is, I don't think they'll ever win a division with him.
But you were in year 3 and 4.
But you can win games with him. But you were in year 3. And you were at the end of year 3. But at the end of year 2, again, I had data where he won 11 games. If I had come on and said after year 2, Jim Caldwell is not the guy, I think that would have been ludicrous. Because he showed me 11-5. I have to be fair. After 7-9, he gave me 9-7. And I began to have questions. And when he did it in the 4th year, 9 is the ceiling, actually. It's actually 9. And outside of the division collapsing, you're not winning a division. You're not winning a playoff game playing like that, coaching like that, not being aggressive like that.
Okay, here's why you can't.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense, total sense. But here's why you can't figure out the ceiling for Dan Campbell after 2 years. Because, let's forget the numbers. Let's go beyond the numbers. Every time you walked into that Lions locker room, before Dan Campbell got there, and probably a little bit with Jim Caldwell, but not as much, the mentality was, we know the boogeyman is coming to get us. We don't know when, we don't know how, but we're going to screw up games some way, somehow. We don't believe in our coaching staff. We don't believe in this organization. I'm talking about as players. We don't believe in a lot of things around us. Now, with Dan Campbell, even though he won 3 games, you at least have changed that mindset. They believe in him. They believe in Brad Holmes. So even if let's say they win 6 games and you're not happy with the season, it doesn't mean you know what's going on.
The only way you can identify his ceiling, Terry, is if they're awful. If they improve, I am comfortable to say, hey, I still don't know enough yet. Add 1 or 2 pieces. Add this. I can have a good conversation at the end of the year, even if they win 6-7 games. But if they win 2 games, Terry, that's a lot of unknowns.
Okay, that, once again, you went to extremes.
No, because I told you before this whole conversation started.
You just said they go from 3 to 2 wins?
No, hear me out. Before the conversation started, before we had this thing, I told you, the only way you can identify his ceiling, or excuse me, I said the best case scenario is at the end of year 2, you can't identify it. Why? Because they improved. And there's nothing to go off of saying, hey, they're only going to ever be a 5-6 win team. I don't believe that to be the case. What I believe,
you said that. You said you hope you don't know what his ceiling is, but you also said I can figure out his ceiling. It's possible for you to figure out his ceiling after 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely. It is absolutely possible because we've seen it before.
If he does something extreme and only wins 2 games.
Which would be one of 2 things, which are very realistic, by the way. They either they suck very much, or they win 8-9 games, and you're like, holy hell, this guy has a future as an NFL head coach. So yes, I absolutely can after 2 years. And if he wins 6 or 7, you're going to say, improvement. Jim Schwartz won 3, 6, and then 10. So let's see what Dan Campbell does to year 3. And then I'm in a situation where, I can't tell you. But 2 out of the 3 scenarios, I absolutely can tell you, hey, he can be a coach or he can't. And I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think there's a strong possibility after year 3, you won't be able to tell his ceiling. And, once again, we have to actually play these seasons. We have to see what's going on. But the thing that he's got in his corner is that players not only believe in him, but they are playing for him. So,
all right.
Once again, I go back. It would be very dangerous to cut that plug prematurely.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you might get the revolt.
I agree
because
with you on
that locker room has revolted over
and I think that locker room is in the best
again.
position it's been in a while. I do believe that. And the front office, obviously. We'll take a quick break. When we get back, I'll tell you, Terry, why I believe our chat is a little mentally challenged this morning, requesting Colin Kaepernick to be the quarterback of the Detroit Lions. We'll get to that in a bit. But before we do, I got to tell you about MyBookie, the ultimate place to be placing your bets during the NHL and NBA playoffs. Make sure you sign up using code Woodward. Bet from anywhere, anytime using MyBookie. And as always, if you suck at gambling or have a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the Bottom Line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. What do you got going on? You had to tell people in the chat that what's wrong with them? Yeah, you're sleeping?
Yeah, I guess some people are calling for Colin Kaepernick
to be invited to the Detroit Lions camp. I don't know why.
No, that's a lie. You do know why, because he tried out for Michigan. He tried out for Michigan at the spring game, and now
I'm going to believe the smart and educated people in the chat. I'm going to believe the smart and educated people in the chat who are saying no to Colin Kaepernick because I agree with it. Fish, shut the hell up.
Did they say bring him in to compete?
Yeah, because Jared Goff is, quote, Jared Goff is a bum. And
the bum word came back up.
The bum word came up, I know.
Right.
Look, what I'll say about Colin Kaepernick is, what is he, 35 now?
Yeah, he's been out of
the league. He's been out of the league 5 years?
Yeah.
All right, look, yeah, quarterbacks are playing longer than usual. He's been out of the league. It's changed. It's faster. Play calling, verbiage. There's a million things he's going to have to get up to speed on. And do you really think he can beat out Jared Goff for a starting quarterback role?
No, you know what happens after 5 years? You become rusty. I mean, you can go out and throw on the high school playground.
It's different on the field.
To any wide receiver you want. Devontae Adams, it doesn't matter. You become rusty. Now, my take on Kaepernick is this. First of all, he should not have been banned from the league, period. If you're going to bring him in at quarterback, you do it 5 years ago. You don't sit a guy 5 years and say, hey, you know what? He's going to be my starting quarterback.
Mark Royal.
If you make that decision, you will be fired.
Mark Royal said, the things I saw Goff do last year, I wouldn't let a junior high school quarterback stay in the game. I think that's fair to say for the first 8 games of the year when Anthony Lynn was the play caller, Royal. And I think the 8 games after, or 9 games actually, especially down the stretch when Goff was 3-1, 4th highest passer rating in the NFL, and he looked like a competent, solid quarterback. What do you say to that? Because half the season he was butt cheeks. I agree. The entire offense was. And a big part of it was because of Anthony Lynn. And then when play calling was taken over, Goff started to look better. And the Josh Reynolds signing had a big impact on why he looked better. Like, I want to know why Jared Goff sucks. I just want to know. He's a great, I'll say it, a great bridge quarterback. You know why? Because you are not committed to it. That's the best thing. Yeah, you're paying him $30 million right now for the next year. You can get off of him for $5 million cap hit only. You save $25 million if you want to get rid of him at the end of the year. No problems at all. That's why he's a great bridge quarterback, because he can suck and it benefits your team. He can be very good, and it benefits your team. The Lions are in a win-win situation with Goff, Terry. Zero expectations of this is the future franchise quarterback. Now, does Brad Holmes secretly want Jared Goff to be the franchise quarterback? I don't know that.
I think he does.
And if he does, that concerns me a little bit. But, like we said earlier, and you make fun of me for it, but the truth is,
don't say it.
You can win with an average quarterback if you compensate with very good coaching and very good talent, like the Tennessee Titans, for example, have. They had very good coaching in Mike Vrabel and a very talented defense and offense. The Cleveland Browns, you compensate for Baker Mayfield how? A top 5 defense? Oh, and one of the best rush attacks in all of the NFL. How do the Minnesota Vikings compensate some years for Kirk Cousins being a bum and not showing up in primetime games? Well, they just have an explosive offense. Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, and they maybe show up every once in a while on defense, not often. How do teams like, let's see, an example of a team that compensates for average quarterback play that are successful? Carson Wentz and the Colts. Phillip Rivers and the Colts.
Phillip Rivers was better than average.
He was pretty far into his career. I'll check his last season with. But
Wentz, they want him out. They don't want him to be their quarterback.
Well, he blew it. He blew his opportunity because he was actually good for most of the season. So I will say, Phillip Rivers, his last year in Indianapolis was, to your point, better than average. He was actually good. 4,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, only 11 interceptions. That's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's above average.
That's good.
Above average.
100%. And
I think in Carson Wentz, they don't like the fact that he's just one of the guys.
He's not a leader. He's not a leader.
Yeah, he's not a leader.
He's a pussy.
There's,
sorry, Fish.
So there is, well, Fish is technically not a pussy. Technically. But
where does the technically
Carson Wentz, in a quarterback, it has to be more than just throwing the ball down the field or handing it off to your running back.
Can I give you 2 scenarios?
Please
and
do.
you tell me if these are losing situations for the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
We'll start with worst case scenario. Goff absolutely craps the bed, and they win 3 games this year because of awful quarterback play. Is that a bad thing? They'll have the number 1, number 2 pick in the draft. They're getting one of the quarterbacks. They'll be able to draft a quarterback if he sucks, and they'll be able to cut him and save $25 million, which they can then go into free agency.
And no, it's not a terrible thing. And the other thing is, I assume this: if the Lions, let's say they get the number 8 pick, they're going to parlay that in the 24th pick and move up to number 3. Now, if they just get number 3, period, you don't have to worry. That 24th, the 25th
so Jared
pick
Goff
is still yours.
is a good thing, right?
It's a good thing, yes.
Jared Goff, let's say, plays good all season, good.
Mm-hmm.
And they are 9-win football team. They win 9 games. His stock value just went up. And in a quarterback market, everybody wants a quarterback. You have the ability, if you wanted to trade him. I want to say the cap hits $10 million to trade him. I could be wrong on that.
No, you're correct. It's 10 or 11.
So if they trade him, and they get a 2nd-round pick for him, which I doubt, by the way. But let's say he plays 3,800, 4,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions this year. Why wouldn't you keep him for the next year and move up in the draft if you wanted a quarterback? Or say, hey, you know what? We don't need to take a quarterback this year. We're going to go grab this player, that player. We're going to try to win the division next year.
Oh, you know what you could become? You could become the L.A. Rams of last year. With Trey Goff.
Yeah, but
get some picks.
Yeah, but you're going to have to luck into it. You're a year late. This was the year. Last year was the year to be good with Goff and have a good year. That way you could have maybe traded Goff and 2-3 first-round picks for Russell Wilson. It's not often those quarterbacks are available on the market.
Right, but even if you don't get Russell Wilson, at least you'll get some draft picks and some younger players that you can build around. Teams still need quarterbacks in this league. So, yeah, it's not going to be the grand slam, but you know what, Adam, I'll take a double.
Go for it.
Get a couple draft picks, even if it's a 2nd and a 3rd round for him, with a team that's still trying to build with young guys, that's still a good day for me.
Hell yeah. Well, let's get
and
into
you
mailbag.
get rid of this bum.
Yep, let's get into mailbag. Ask all of your questions in the chat. Before we go, I'll tell you about Planet Fitness. Unfortunately, I will not be going to the gym today, but when I feel better, I absolutely will be in the gym because I got to stay in shape. It's something I encourage all of you to do. It's so important, both physical and mental health. Get it done at Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness has many Metro Detroit locations. Visit them at planetfitness.com. Follow them on social media. Start today for $0 down $10 a month. And of course, they are the official Woodward Sports Studio sponsor. Show them some love and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
The official sticker partner of Woodward Sports. When it comes to stickers and signage, think Sticker Genius. We support this local Detroit business, and we are excited to show you our latest project, the Planet Fitness Studio from Sticker Genius. If you need custom stickers, wall graphics, window graphics, and plenty more, reach out to our friends at Sticker Genius. We at Woodward Sports couldn't be any happier with the service they provided us. They were quick, easy to deal with, and super professional. Head to stickergenius.com today.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Our friends at Alto Equipment know that when it comes to getting your job completed on budget and on schedule, uptime matters. That's why Alto Equipment has partnered with the biggest names in construction. And if you have a big project coming up, Alto Rents has you covered. With the most diverse rental fleet in Michigan, there's nothing your project can throw at you that Alta can't handle. Give them a call today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Alto Equipment, where uptime matters. All right, it is mailbag. Get your questions in the chat. Here's a question from Fago Rain. Will Goff throw more than 5 yards downfield this season?
That's such a stupid question,
well,
by the way.
He's being sarcastic.
I know,
so
but
let's
it's
play
so
with him.
stupid. Because you saw when Josh Reynolds was signed, it opened up a lot of what Goff could do. He was throwing up bums all year outside of St. Brown down the stretch. Goff, guys, again, his arm didn't magically disappear. Was it confidence? Was it ability to understand or move on with the NFL and how the speed changed? Who knows what it is with Goff?
I think it was scheme and also the lack of confidence coaches had in him, at least early on.
Okay, how about this one? What quarterback coming out of the draft do you think can be a top 10 starter?
Say that one more time.
What quarterback coming out of the draft could be a top 10 starter?
Like in the NFL?
Mhm.
Right. So this draft class,
Yes.
correct? Say Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett.
No, I thought he was talking. They're talking about next year.
Oh, this year.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
year could be a top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Pickett is the only guy, but I don't think he's going to be that. But if the question is who could, it could be him. Who will? I would say nobody.
I would say Kenny Pickett if I had to pick somebody. Obviously, a first-round pick in a good situation in Pittsburgh. I think he's got enough throwing ability to make it in the NFL.
And
but we'll
plus,
see.
Pittsburgh figures stuff out.
Yes. Go ahead, Maddie. What else we got?
How about would you watch Colin Kaepernick in the XFL?
Nope. I wouldn't watch the XFL. I don't watch the USFL. I won't watch anything FL unless it's the NFL. So just keep football away from me if you think it's professional. It's not. It sucks. Horrible product. Nobody likes it. Nobody watches it. The people that watch it are people that are losers and need to make new friends because they don't have any friends and they suck at the NFL. So they watch another product and they try to support it and be one of the first people there thinking they're going to be whatever. Anyways,
anyways.
fucking losers, basically.
So this is the question I've been trying to ask him for 2 weeks. Are you still watching the USFL?
I
And
have
guess the
not
answer
turned
is
it on. No.
I watched the first week and
I
that
gave
was
it 10 snaps and I turned it off after. It was the most
Give it
embarrassing
10
thing.
snaps.
He
You
did.
gave it like
I did.
one.
He did.
You did give it
I
10
did.
snaps?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I did. I gave it
Okay.
10 snaps and then I was ready to vomit. Question for Adam and Terry. Give me a week 1 score at home against the Eagles.
I'm going to go Eagles 23, Lions 20.
Nice.
Rude.
I will have a similar score line. And I'm going to put my money on the Lions to avenge their game from last year where they got blown out by the Eagles. Give me the Lions 24, the Eagles 20.
Okay.
Cute. Who would more likely be traded if they both get hurt this year, Swift or Hawk?
Hawk.
Yeah.
Swift, you could just cut. Running backs have no value. If I'm a GM, I wouldn't give you a single penny for a running back. I don't care who they are. They are useless. I can draft one every single year. I can pick one up in free agency if I wanted to. Hell, undrafted. Doesn't matter. I can find value at the running back position. Hawk, I can get value on.
And Hawk, I think he was on the trading block before anyway, on the QT.
I think if he has a good year, you may be able to snag a second or first for him. But if he has a good year and he's healthy, you might as well extend him. Go ahead, Maddie. Sign one and cut one in 2023. Hawk and Swift. I like that. I would sign Hawkinson. I would cut Swift again. I can find a running back every year if I wanted to. Every year I can find a running back.
I'm doing that too because you can at least have a competent running game with that offensive line.
Yep. Do you think the Lions will have both Rookie of the Years and win 8 games? I am betting a lot of money on Hutchinson to win Defensive Player of the Year. The last 2 number 2 overall picks that were defensive ends both won Defensive Rookie of the Year, both Nick Bosa and Chase Young, just FYI. I think Hutchinson will continue that streak, and it'll be 3 in a row that win Defensive Rookie of the Year, being drafted number 2 overall. So give me.
Will they win both? I'm going to say no.
I'd say no. Jameson Williams going to miss the start of the year.
Right.
And I don't know.
And also NFL.com, and not that this counts for everything, but NFL.com had the top 10 rookies who are going to have the most impact in the NFL this year. They had Hutchinson 6th.
Interesting.
Speaking of Hutchinson, over under 7.5 sacks.
Wow. I hate you, Bob's big boy. That's a good question. Because that's like between exactly where I think he's going to finish. I think Hutch, if he plays every game, 8 sacks. So I'll go over. I say 8 to 9 sacks his rookie year is realistic, and I don't think that's a travesty. So many people are saying they need 11, 12 sacks out of him, but that's just not a thing. Nick, if you go back to Nick Bosa's career, his first year, 9 sacks. His rookie year, 9 sacks. You want to go to Chase Young? Chase Young's rookie year, by the way, who won Rookie of the Year? Both of them did. His first year, 7.5 sacks. You want me to go to Joey Bosa? Let's see what Joey Bosa, again, one of the better players in the NFL. His rookie year, 10 sacks. Okay. Not bad, double digits. You're looking for 8 to 10, that's it. Anybody who says 11 to 13 minimum is a dumb motherfucker. All right,
well,
sorry, I'm very
maybe
agitated.
They're just optimistic.
Dumb.
And may not be
dumb
as intelligent as you would like to
Mentally
be.
challenged.
I'm
Mentally
gonna go
challenged
under.
people expect a
He'll
rookie
get 7
edge
sacks
rusher.
this year.
Unbelievable. He needs to be in Dominican through all pro 10.5 sacks. These people.
Anyways, we're going to go.
You haven't had a pass rush in 8 years.
You need to go home and go to sleep.
Yeah, you need a little rest.
Get one of them neti pots. Put it in
Have
your
you done
nose.
he doesn't know about the neti
Of course
pot.
he doesn't.
He doesn't. Why would he?
The hell's a neti
Get
pot?
cultured.
Just, you know what? Google it after the show.
Oh yeah, what you do is you get saline and water, hot, warm.
Yep.
And then it goes up one nose, goes all the way down, and then comes out the other nose.
Yeah.
It drains you.
It drains you, and you know it really
It's
works.
disgusting.
Does it work?
It's absolutely disgusting.
Mm-hmm. I've
it
got
work,
one-
though?
I've got 2 at home.
Oh, wow. Does it work?
They work.
Anyways, we're going to
Okay.
go. Adam, go
Adam
home.
might die on the show.
Thanks so much for joining us on the show today. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Yeah, have a good day.